accused of arson for an accurate prophecy, cracking the great 1666 fire of London prediction by history's greatest astrologer, the Great Fire and the Forbidden Book. September 1666. A roaring inferno raged for 4 days and 4 nights, reducing the bustling city of London to a wasteland of ash. The magnificent St. 66, Paul's Cathedral, collapsed in the flames, and tens of thousands of citizens were left homeless. As the shaken British government began investigating this unprecedented disaster, someone pulled an old book from the rubble, published 15 years earlier. It was chilling. The illustrations in the book not only accurately depicted the city being consumed by fire, but even contained astrological metaphors pointing directly to the specific year, 1666. The British Parliament was incensed. They immediately ordered the arrest of the book's author. To the politicians of the time, such a miraculous prophecy could not exist. If it did, the author must be the meticulous arsonist who started the fire. Today, we introduce you to the most legendary and hardcore astrological master of 17th century Europe, William Lilly. We will see how he used precise celestial calculations to foresee the fate of an empire, and how he used his wit in court to defend his life. The decoder of stars, monarchy or no monarchy. Before we delve into the fire, we must understand who William Lilly was. He was no street-side charlatan relying on cold reading to scan London. In 17th century England, Lilly was a respected intellectual. During the English Civil War, high-ranking officials from both the Royalists and the parliamentarians secretly sought his astrological guidance. In 1651, exactly 15 years before the Great Fire, Lilly published a prophetic book titled Monarchy or No Monarchy. At the end of the book, he provided no written conclusions. Instead, he left 19 mysterious woodcut hieroglyphs. The most famous among them depicted the figure of Gemini falling headfirst into a massive bonfire. Hardcore logic, the calculations disaster. Lilly did not arrive at these conclusions through dreams or seances. His logic was strictly technical. He observed a rare conjunction of Mars and Saturn, both malefic planets representing disaster in the sign of Gemini. Geographical correspondences of classical astrology. Gemini, the sign that rules London. Combining ancient cycle algorithms, he explicitly stated that between 1666, London would face a dual heavenly scourge of plague and fire. History proved him right. 1665 saw the outbreak of the Great Plague of London, followed immediately by the Great Fire of 1666. The trial of the prophet or arsonist. In October 1666, the 54-year-old William Lilly was called before a House of Commons investigating committee. The atmosphere was thick with tension. The chairman, Sir Robert Brooke, stared at him with piercing eyes and asked the lethal question. Mr. Lilly, since you knew 15 years ago that London would burn, did you or your accomplices set this fire? This was more than an interrogation. It was a life and death debate between science, the occult, and the law. If Lilly could not prove his innocence, the gallows awaited. Facing the charges, Lilly remained incredibly calm. He deconstructed his years-old chart calculations for the judges and delivered a classic defense. My lords, I did indeed see the fatal glow of fire hidden within the city's stars. I drew those images as a warning, but I am merely a mortal who reads the tracks of the stars. I can see the time, but I cannot see the hand that strikes the match. He candidly told the committee that astrology can only predict macro-energetic trends, not specific individuals. After a rigorous investigation, the committee found the fire had actually started accidentally at a bakery on Pudding Lane. Impressed by his rigorous astrological knowledge and logic, Parliament acquitted him. This remains one of the most dramatic victories for astrology in a national court of law. The lost art, horary astrology. William Lilly's brilliance was rooted in his mastery of horary astrology, which he brought to its absolute peak. This is his most precious legacy to the astrological world. While modern astrology often requires an accurate birth date and time, most commoners of the 17th century had no idea when they were born. Horary astrology solved this. Lilly believed that the birth of a question is like the birth of a baby. The moment a person asks a question with intense anxiety, the cosmic alignment contains the answer. Lilly consulted for hundreds of distressed citizens daily. He wasn't just fortune-telling, he was using the language of the stars to provide a psychological anchor for people lost in turbulent times. His masterpiece, Christian Astrology, remains a mandatory textbook for astrologers worldwide to this day, the dawn of reason and the final curve. William Lilly lived through a massive turning point in human thought. In his later years, the Royal Society was founded, and the dawn of modern science began to shine over Europe. Telescopes and calculus gradually replaced the astrolabe. Astronomy and astrology officially parted ways. Lilly became the last great classical astrologer of that era. Hundreds of years later, we no longer need the stars to predict earth fires. Yet, Lily's reverence for the cosmos and his rigorous attempt to find order in chaos remain deeply moving. Astrology may not be able to stop a disaster from happening, but it was once humanity's most poetic way of trying to converse with the universe in the face of an uncertain fate.